What's in my pencil case? A look into all the stationery I use on a daily basis, how I use them in my Hobonichi Cousin, my bullet journal, and my daily journal. These are my top journaling supply recommendations for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier life. And one of the things that make me happy, and I'm sure you as well, is stationery. I know it's easy to buy more and to just get the newest cool pen, the newest color, etc. But this year I've been trying to restrict myself from buying too much new stationery. That way I can get through what I already have, make use of it, and try to get creative with what I already have. So here's a look at my pencil case, how I organize things as well, and what I use on an actual daily basis. So the way that I like to do things is to have one pencil case, which is this one. I got it on Amazon, and to have this on my desk at all times. And this slot here is what I use on a daily basis as well. And inside of it, I put in the things that I reach for over and over again, just to have it on hand, because I do have a lot of stationery that I organize in my drawers separately that I reach for not all the time. So I swish things out very often, but the main pencil case that I use is this one. I also have a gallon leather one that I use for my fountain pens as well, for some of my special fountain pens that I have inked. And then I also have these Muji containers that I put the rest of my fountain pens in here. These are the ones that are not inked. I have a few Kaweco Sports one. I have this one with the nibs for my calligraphy. I have another Kaweco Sport here. I have a Kaweco Pelican. So this is kind of how I organize my overall pens. I can do more in-depth video, but I just want to focus on the pencil case in this video. These are really things that I use on a daily basis in my daily journal and my Hobonichi Cousin. So let's just jump right in. So one thing that I like to do in my Hobonichi Cousin and my daily journal is to stick to one color scheme every single month. That way I just pick out my colors and I just stick to the same thing. So first things first, the color for this month was, I'll give you a split second to guess. Yes, good job. Very good. It's green. So for May, are we May? Yes, for May. Oh my goodness. So the color for this month was green, and I use a Tombow pen, and then this is a pen that I got in France and I really love it. It's Mitsubishi, I think, and it's called the Uni pen, and I love it as well. It's fine. It's 0.04. Then I have an TWSBI Eco fountain pen that I ink for my daily journal, and I stick to one color in the month because I find changing colors in my fountain pen kind of annoying. Then I have a black gel pen that I got in a random little Japanese stationery store when I was in Ottawa randomly visiting. And finally, I always have a midliner highlighter. I love the gray one because it's so basic and it matches most colors. So this is what I use mostly on a daily basis. Now, how do I use them? So like I said, I like to stick to one color scheme. So for the fountain pen is what I use exclusively in my journal. Every single month I use a different color. That way I make sure I use all my fountain pen inks and to try not to get more. And this month it was this color. It's kind of a teal. It's called Wayfarer from Wiringo. I don't know how to say it properly. So it's the Wayfarer color. So my fountain pen is for my daily journal. I find that it makes the process so much more enjoyable, so much more luxurious. And this is the B6 journal from Leuchtturm that I love for my daily journaling. And then for the rest of the stationery, I'll show you one of the pages in my daily spreads. So this is kind of how I use the rest of the stationery in my daily spread. So I use the Tombow pen to do a bit of calligraphy, to add a bit of color, to do some lines. Sometimes I do thicker lines, sometimes I just do thinner lines. It's just to add a bit of color. Then I use this pen again. It matches kind of the green. I like to stick to one color scheme to write my to-do list during the day. I have a more detailed walkthrough of how I use my Hobonichi Cousin in different videos. I won't tell you all the details here, but I like to kind of have different colors. These are simple ways to make your journal or planner more aesthetic. I also have a separate video on sharing you some tips for that as well. So that's what I use this pen for, to just kind of write down my to-do list throughout the day. Gel pen, black pen, a very basic but important one to have, in my opinion, in your stationery kit. This is to write my to-do list. This one kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it takes a bit of time to dry out. Although I have a few of them, I don't know if I would actually recommend them, but I just overall recommend having a black gel gel pen in your pencil case. And lastly, my trusty mite liner. I have to say, I've had these for probably 8 years and they're finally starting to fade a little bit, which feels really satisfying. However, as you can see, I have a lot more. I have another gray one as well. So I'm kind of happy that this is finishing because I've really had it for so long. But that's what I use this for, just to put it as headers and separation to kind of create a delineation to separate the different sections. These are the main pens and highlighters that I use every single day, literally every single day. And I leave here because it just makes it a lot more easy and accessible to use. And every single month when I switch out the color, I pick a new scheme, new color scheme. I either switch out this and these two, or I switch out these two colors, and then I keep the same one throughout the month just to make it a lot easier for myself. Instead of always scrambling to figure out what layout to use, what color to use, etc., I stick to one simple layout in my planner to make it a lot more sustainable and a lot easier to show up every single day to use my planner. Now moving into inside the pencil case, these are the things that I reach for very often, but I don't necessarily use on a daily basis. I have a separate container for more pens that I have. So I try to swap these things out once in a while to make sure I use all my pens and all my highlighters as much as possible. These are the rest of the pens that I mentioned before. So there's a lot of different choices, a lot of different colors. So I try to switch it out once in a while, but I prefer having these put away and I only have my pencil case that I have to use every single day. But these are the things that I have in my pencil case regardless that I do use. So in this little pouch here, I have a little Post-it. I have had these Post-its for a long time. I hate the color, but I'm just trying to get through them and use them and have less Post-its. I sometimes just do a little brain dump, a little to-do list. This was from my plan. I have to put it back, but I like to have little Post-its. That way I can just jot ideas down and then throw it out when I put it in my planner in a bit of a nicer way. So I like having a little Post-it, scissors, and a ruler, which sounds really basic, but this is for washi tape that I use often, and a ruler to, you guessed it, draw lines. It's nice to have a little one that really fits into a case that's not very bulky, that's very thin, very easy to use. I believe that one is from Muji, and this I've had since I'm like a child, so I don't really know where that's from, but having a little pair of scissors is also very helpful. Overall, I do like this pen case, so I would recommend it, and I got it for Amazon for really inexpensive. The other thing that I have here in this little pouch is my Muji pens. These two are probably my favorite gel pens, and I kind of want to get more. I just don't like the idea of having too much plastic that I'm throwing out. I think that's what bothers me, but these are the Muji pens and I love them. I love the color. These are the 0.5. The gray one is probably one of my favorites. I don't know why writing in gray I find really fun and very different than using a black pen. And this is kind of like a fuchsia, deeper pink color that I really love. And I have this other pink one that I love as well. I have another purple one in here as well. It's another Muji pen. I don't like it as much. I think I like the one with a click a lot easier versus having a cap because I find it kind of annoying. Whoopsies. This one is also the 0.33, so it's quite thin, which I like, but to write, I think I prefer the 0.5, but I do like the color of it. It's interesting. The more you use stationery, the more you realize your preferences. I prefer having a clicker versus a cap. I know it sounds really random, but the more you use stationery, the more those little things make a difference. I also have a pencil that I got in Paris when I traveled there with my mom and sister. I got this at Papier. I literally got this because it was cute. I love it, so I'm happy I have it, but that's the only reason I got it. I did not need this, but it's nice to see it in my lineup here. And the other thing I have here, which my friend gave to me, she got it for me in Japan, one of my favorite pens. I'll have to show you actually what it looks like because it's absolutely beautiful. It's a multicolored pen, so then every time you write, it's kind of like a blend of things. Look how pretty. I mean, I'm gonna give you a moment for this. I love seeing this. I'm gonna maybe do a little zoom in for you. If you can see here, this is the same pen. It's just gradually changing in colors, and I absolutely love it so much. So this is one of my favorite pens that I keep, and I feel like I'm very careful with when I use it to be very intentional because I don't want to just use it up just to use it up. But anyway, this is another one of my favorite pens, and I love to have it accessible even though I don't use it every day. It just brings me joy to even just see it in my pencil case. Am I crazy? Maybe. It is what it is. I'm just being honest with you. This flap is not removable, which I don't know if I would want it to be removable because if it was Velcro, I really don't like Velcro, but I kind of like this flap. I think it's very helpful to have it with a little net here. And then moving into the body of the pencil case, the cool thing about this, the cool thing about this pencil case is that it is expandable. So if you want to add more things, it expands. And honestly, it does give you quite a bit of space. So for traveling, I think this would be really great as well. I've never taken it on a trip with me because I try to be minimal when I travel. But if you are into taking a lot of stationery when you travel, it's a good case, I think, to travel as well. In here, I have my date stamper that I use in my daily journal. This is a newest edition that I had this year. I debated long and hard for this because I was trying to be very intentional with how I'm spending my money and not bringing in too much new stationery this year. However, for the $12 that I paid for it, highly recommend. I find it so much fun to just stamp it every day. And for my daily journal, I find that having the separation of the date also really helps. As you can see here, I don't know, I love it. I love having a date stamp and I highly recommend it. If you're looking to add something fun to use in your daily journal, I use it every single day. So highly recommend. I have an eraser. I don't really need to explain that. I finally bought one of these. Again, trying to be very intentional with what I buy, what I don't buy. Was debating long and hard whether to buy one of these, and I'm happy I did. It's weighted, so it keeps the journal page down, especially when I'm using my traveler's notebook. I find it very helpful to be able to put the page down so that way it just lays flat. So that's been great. Now moving in, so I have to be honest with you, I was going to edit what is in this case because I don't often use what's all in here, and I should probably edit it just for my own sake. But for the purpose of transparency and actually being a realistic perspective into what's in my pencil case, I did not edit what's in here. So you're very welcome. So this is the Muji pen that I told you about. Love the Muji pens. They're a really great gel pen. I don't have access to them in Montreal and in Quebec, but I think I can order them online now. So maybe when I'm done my stash, I might get a few more. This is the Hobonichi Techo pen that you get when you buy the Hobonichi Cousin. I do love it because it is very thin, the nib. So it works really great for the Hobonichi Cousin and the paper that's in it. However, I prefer gel pens. I don't like regular pens for whatever reason. I don't know if it's because I use it so much in elementary school and high school that I just like different pens now. I don't know. I have these two Leuchtturm. One of it is a gel pen, one of it is a pencil. I love how weighted these are, and I do like how they look and how they feel, but for whatever reason, I just don't reach for them. But I just keep them in here because I like that I have my name on it, and I think it's super cute having things that are a bit personalized, but I don't reach for them very often. I do put them in pictures and whatnot because they do look pretty. This is a fountain pen eraser. A lot of people don't know about this, I feel like, but on this side, you can erase if you make a mistake, you can erase your fountain pen, let it dry, and then you can use this side to rewrite on where you erased it. Love having this. Don't use it very often. I just scratch out whatever mistake I have, but I still have it. And then I have the Tombow Food and SK brush pens. This is the stiff one. This is the more flexible one. I use this one a lot in my Hobonichi Cousin to write a little bit of calligraphy on days where I want to make it a little bit more cutesy, and I've been trying to practice my calligraphy as well. So I love having that in my journal. On days where I have a bit more time, I want to be take it a little bit more slow when it comes to my planning and doing my layout. Love having those. I don't use the stiff one as more, and it's a little bit more lighter. It's not as opaque black, I find. The last thing that I've always loved using, I highly recommend, is the Sakura Pigma Micron pens. You can get them in many different colors, many different options for doodling, for drawing, for calligraphy, for writing. I think these are a great purchase because even this one, I have literally had this for like 6 years and it still works great. It's a 0.01, so it's quite thin, and you can get thicker ones. I also have this gray one, which I probably should use. There's different colors. So love these pens, and the 01 is the one that I keep in my journal, in my stationery case, and my pencil case, because I use it for writing headers in my planner. Love this. So as you can see, I don't have that much in my pencil case in reality, because for me, I find if I want to make planning and journaling sustainable, I have to keep it simple and streamlined. So that's why I stick to the same color scheme for the whole month. That way I only have to reach for the same pens and highlighters every single day, and the same layout that I reuse over and over again. So that is what is is in my stationery case. I am planning on doing a full walkthrough and recommendations of stationery that you should use, things that I've liked and disliked. That is going to come soon. Let me know what your recommendations are, what's in your pencil case and the daily stationery that you use, or if you pick up any of these, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.